Welcome everybody to episode 2 of GD Basics. This episode will focus mostly on Masteries and also show you a nice way to get level 2 very quickly. So, last time we talked about user interface etc. Now we're actually gonna start playing the game a bit here. So you got this guy here, man, and these guys have some pretty nice lore actually, like they have some pretty nice conversations. If you care about lore in a game, you should probably read all of those. I did the first time I played this game. It's actually pretty nice. The lore is great in this game, at least for an ARPG, right? It's not like a Skyrim type of game or like a true RPG, right? Not true RPG lore, but it's still pretty good for an ARPG, I would say. I enjoyed it a lot. Now, besides these zombies that you can kill here on the bridge, right? You will also note, or like you will see a lore note over here, right? The crudely scrawled note. And you might think to yourself, well, it would be so nice to get this, right? Maybe. And the thing is, you can actually click on it from outside the prison, and your character will go over here and just pick it up, right? You can see it disappeared here. And then you open your character window, you have this lore note here, you right click it to read it, and then you're already almost level 2, and then you just have to like kill 2 more zombies, maybe, and there, you're gonna be level 2 then. That's pretty nice. Like get a small head start, actually it's only 1 more, and once you're level 2, you will have access to, well, also you can click on this corpse here, get some nice boots here for example, I mean some nice pants, and once you're level 2, you will see this skills window blinking now. And also in the character window you will have 1 attribute point ready to go, like ready to use. And yeah, this is where you will be able to choose 1 out of 9 classes at level 2, and then your secondary mastery on level 10. First mastery, the soldier, is very basic. He is mostly about physical damage and tankiness, and also he specializes in 2-handed weapons and a shield. So he's very good at using sword and board and 2-handed melee weapons. You can play this mastery like every other mastery in pretty much every way you want, but most intuitive and like easy to play would be sword and board or 2-handed, and also mostly physical. Next up we got the Demolitionist. The Demolitionist is a fire, lightning class, mostly fire. It does have some physical damage as well, it does have some lightning damage on some abilities as well, and also you have some transmitters that convert, for example, your physical to lightning here on the grenades, or your physical to lightning on this grenade here. And he's all about explosives, so he has like an explosive strike called a fire strike, right, with explosive strike, static strike, brimstone. This is very nice for especially ranged characters, because this brimstone ability will splinter when you're using a ranged ability, but it's also decent for melee characters as well, and he also makes up for like a very nice pyromancy, like, well, how to say that, like a bomber caster basically, right, like a bomberman. So he has like bombs to throw around, flashbangs, cocktails, stuff like that, and also he has a mortar trap that you can put down and that will fire for you, basically like a turret. He also has some okay defense. Overall, I would say he's like a... well, he's kind of in the middle between like damage and tankiness right now. He's overall very well-rounded and very nice class right now. It's mostly like a main damage class, and you usually pick this class rather for its like nice damaging abilities instead for its support skills, even though Thermite Mine and Blackwater Cocktail are, and also Flashbang, are pretty nice support skills actually. Next up we got the Occultist Mastery. The Occultist is a master of dark arts, right? So he's kinda all about vitality, acid and chaos damage. But he is like an exceptionally well-rounded support class. You can use this guy to complement any physical character, vitality character, poison character, elemental character, even some bleeding characters. As you can see, this Curse of Frailty and Vulnerability has insane debuffs for all kinds of damage types actually. Blood of Druid is like a heal, also this gives you physical and poison resistance as an aura, like basically every party member in your game will have this aura when he stands close to you when you activate this. That's a really nice support class, and it's also very good for pets. Like you have the Summon Familiar here, Hellhound here, and this Bonds of Bismil skill here, which is also insane for pets. It's probably the best pet class in the game. Not only because of the 2 pets he has, but also because of Blood of Druid and Bonds of Bismil, which are like insanely good for pets, like for pet support. Next up, we got the Arcanist Mastery. The Arcanist is, out of all the classes, the Masteries, he's like the most classic mage Mastery, I would say. He has very nice defensive support skills, so if you pick Arcanist as your support class, you usually pick him for defensive abilities, like the Mirror of Erectus, which makes you invulnerable for several seconds, 3 seconds in this case. Maven's Sphere of Protection, which just gives you flat, percent damage absorption without any penalty now. So that's really great. And then you also have Nullification, which is like basically a cleanse. Like you can cleanse debuffs from your own character, and you can also remove buffs from enemies. Right? So this is very nice. On top of that, it also reduces enemy elemental damage by a certain percentage for a certain time. The more points you put here, the better it will become. And yeah, those are like really broken, like very good defensive skills, I would say. Other than those defensive skills, you also choose Arcanist for like some decent passives all around. Like these are decent passives, you can always one-point them or like soft cap them on any build basically that you choose Arcanist with. It's kind of the same for this line, really nice supportive skills as well. Other than that, you usually take Arcanist for a main class and not for the support class, because usually for a support class you want a class / mastery that well, gives you resistance reduction for the damage type that your main mastery deals, right? So in this case, Arcanist only has fire resistance reduction on all extras flash freeze, and this only works when the enemy is actually frozen. And in the end game, like this is pretty nice for leveling early on, but in the end game it doesn't work that well. So yeah, basically Arcanist has no resistance reduction, but he has pretty nice nuke spells like Frozen Sky Shard is a really good nuke, Devastation really good AoE, Killer's Tempest really nice burn filler. Also you can spam this, it's also okay. Panette is also like a good main ability if you like all in on it, but it's more like for endgame. For leveling this is not that great. And also you have Star Pact, which is a super nice exclusive, which also gives you skill cooldown reduction, which is in this game a very good ability, or like a very good passive. Not only because it reduces cooldown of all your skills, it also reduces cooldown of like active devotions as well. Next up we got the Shaman. The Shaman is the traditional two-hander class, and also he's a very nice lightning caster and vitality and bleed caster. But even if you play a Shaman as a caster, he often ends up like a little bit of a hybrid, because you have this ability called Savagery and Tenacity of the Boar and Storm Touched, and this requires you to like use this default attack on an enemy to get the bonuses from Tenacity of the Boar. And yeah, if you're not able to do that, you will lose out on lots of DA and OA on this character. So yeah, Shaman has usually a like hybrid playstyle, even if you play him for like a full caster. That said, you can still play him full caster, but like the totem, you can do like a very nice totem caster here with this totem, or both of them combined. Even if you want to do like vitality, you can combine this with this. It converts the totem to like vitality, and then this one is vitality anyways. Also, he has like an exclusive skill line for two-handers. This works for melee and ranged. So Shaman is actually very nice for weapon swapping, because in my opinion weapon swapping is best for two-handers. And yeah, you can weapon swap between 200 melee and 200 range on a Shaman pretty well. In the very end game, it's not that viable anymore, but up to like level 94, when you're leveling, it's really good. Also, yeah, like resistance reduction for Vitality and Bleed, and resistance reduction for elemental damage. And another like buff skill line. But I will talk like more in depth about these masteries in another part. I mean, you can also like just check out my how to level X mastery build videos as well. Those are out for most masteries so far. Next up, we got the Inquisitor mastery. Inquisitor is like an overall. So next up we got the Inquisitor Mastery. The Inquisitor is a hybrid between a ranged specialist and a runecaster. And the runecaster can use like runes as his main damaging abilities, like Rune of Hagarad and Rune of Kalastor. But he can also like not even use the runes and just work as a like supportive elemental caster. Because of things like Aura of Censure, Word of Renewal line, Inquisitor Seal line. Those are like very nice support skills for like all kinds of Inquisitors, and Aura of Censure for elemental Inquisitors in particular. And yeah, Deadly Aim is also very valuable on any Inquisitor. Stormbox is pretty nice for lightning builds as well, and also debuffs defensive ability, so that can be useful for all kinds of builds as well, if you have the spare points. And then you also have the top line here. This is like the ranged expertise line. Note that these are not connected, so you can choose them individually. But these three are, well, weapon pool skills for ranged abilities. And then you have ranged expertise here, which is like a ranged weapon bonus. For those of you that don't know, weapon pool skills like Bursting Round, Chilling Rounds, and Storm Spread only work with ranged weapons, and the way weapon pool skills work in general is they proc off your default attacks. So you have to either have this default attack, weapon attack here, and use this one, and these will proc off that. Or you will have to like use another default attack replacer. Inquisitor has none, but for example the Shaman had the Savagery line. This is a default attack replacer, and this will proc weapon pool skills. Now many masteries have weapon pool skills. For example, Shaman has the Feral Hunger, which is a weapon pool skill exclusive to two-handers. The Soldier has Markovian's Advantage and the Zolhan's Technique. These are also weapon pool skills that actually work with all kinds of weapons. So like melee, ranged, one-hand, two-hand. Demolitionist and Occultist have none, and then you will have more in the Necromancer class over here and here. These also work with melee, ranged, one-hand, two-hand, and then you have the Oathkeeper Spite, which works with melee, ranged, one-hand, two-hand, and then you have Shatter and Smash, which only works with a shield. Now next up we got the Necromancer class, and besides the two weapon pool skills that I already talked about, these two, the Necromancer class is a caster slash melee support slash pet class, I would say, in general. He has pretty nice pets with the skeletons and the summon blood fiends. Currently the skeletons fall off pretty hard in the endgame. That might change with a future patch. And he also got the Blind Fiend. The Blind Fiend is a little bit more solid throughout the game, and that's very nicely, like you can combine this very nicely with the pets from Shaman and Occultist. As you also can see from his exclusive skills, The Necromancer has the exclusive skill called Master of Death and the exclusive skill called Harbinger of Souls. The different playstyles of a Necromancer also are reflected. The different playstyles of a Necromancer are also reflected in his exclusive skills. The different playstyles of a Necromancer are also reflected within his exclusive skills. So first off, you have the Harbinger of Souls. This is the caster / melee character exclusive skill. This one has flat vitality damage and also casting speed, attack speed, vitality percent, aether percent. So you can use this for a vitality and aether caster / melee character. And the other one is Master of Death, and this one is focused more on pets. So yeah, a pet Necromancer will most certainly use Master of Death instead. Now, the vitality skills at the disposal of a Necromancer are the Ravenous Earth, Siphon Souls, Bone Harvest, and Drain Essence. Especially Ravenous Earth is really good, and this skill alone makes a really great vitality caster. Now, last but not least, we have the Oathkeeper, the newest addition to the Grim Dawn universe. The Oathkeeper is a little bit more fire-oriented soldier, or a more physical-oriented demolitionist in a way. He's kind of a hybrid between a demo and a Inquisitor and a soldier in a way. He's also specialized in shields, but compared to soldier, he uses the shield more offensively. For example, he has a shield throw ability, that's basically role-playing as Captain America. And also he has like a fire default attack, physical fire default attack, which also revolves around retaliation damage. Now, I will talk more about the retaliation damage here in a second. Just note that also Oathkeeper has pretty nice retaliation support. Other classes with nice retaliation support are especially Soldier and Soldier, I would say. And the other classes are good for retaliation builds in certain circumstances. But in general, only Oathkeeper and Soldier have like superb retaliation synergy. Also, Oathkeeper not only So last but not least, we got the Oathkeeper Mastery. The Oathkeeper Mastery has very different uses. First of all, he is a physical, fire, vitality, and acid mastery. So you can use it for physical builds, for fire builds, for acid, poison builds, and for vitality builds. Also, he has pretty nice shield synergy. Compared to a soldier, he is more offensive with his shield, whereas the soldier is more defensive. Additionally to all those damage types I already told you, you can also use him for retaliation builds. Now, what retaliation exactly is, I will talk about that in a minute. Just note that Oathkeeper and Soldier are like the best retaliation classes in the game. They have like the best base synergy for retaliation damage. Let's say it's like that. Other classes can be really good for retaliation as well, but they require like a little bit more external sources to become good for retaliation damage, like gear, certain items, right? Mostly stuff like that. The exclusive skills of Oathkeeper also show the different damage types here. Like you can see the Divine Mandate focusing on physical and fire damage, whereas the Path of the 3 focuses on acid and vitality damage and also converts physical and fire damage to acid damage. So you might notice that like the base of most of these skills here have physical or fire damage, and then transmuters either convert them to acid already, or you use Path of the 3 to convert some of the base physical, fire and physical damage here to acid via this exclusive skill. Alright, thank you so much everyone for watching. This is gonna be it for the quick overview of the Masteries in episode 2. If you wanna have like a more in-depth guide on certain Masteries, check out my how to level certain Masteries videos, for example. Check out my other speed leveling videos, etc, etc. Or feel free to ask anything that you would like to know additionally in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in episode 3.